Hello everybody. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day today. It is such a beautiful day outside, but it is stifling and so humid, but I'm here for it. My hair is not, so just ignore this mess. We're just working with it today. But anyways, I am so excited to share today's video with you guys because we are going to be making 3 of our favorite appetizers. One is mine, one is my daughter's, and one is a spin on my husband's. So the first recipe up is a scallion rice cake. Now I get this every time we go to the Asian restaurant that is here local to us. It is so good, so simple, but it is kind of crispy, kind of chewy, and it just tastes amazing. The second recipe is my daughter's favorite, and I've been making this for a while, really, but it's so simple. It's cheesy, it's buttery, it's so good. I can't wait to share that with you guys. And the third recipe is my husband's favorite. He likes to get the potato skins from Texas Roadhouse, but it's so far from us, so we don't go there that often. So I like to make these at home when I can. And these are like a spin on the potato skin, just a little bit more filling. I like a little bit more heft to the potato skins, but they're so good. So let me get you set up. We'll go over the ingredients and get everything started. Okay guys, so this is a little overview of all of the ingredients that you're going to need. Don't mind my sourdough starter back there. I just fed it, so she's doing her thing. I just got my coffee back there. But for the first recipe is only 3 ingredients. You're going to need some rice flour. Now, my local Asian store was out, but she just told me to grind up some rice. So that's what I did. I just put a cup of rice in my NutriBullet and just whizzed that baby up until it was completely smooth. And then I sifted it into my little measuring cup here. You're also going to need some water and some scallions. Now, in here I've got scallions for both of these recipes, so half of this is going to go in here and half of this is going to go in here, but that's all for that recipe. For the potato skins, now I love these. They're so good, but they're easy. You're going to go ahead and just get you just a couple of small potatoes and roast them. I roasted these this morning at it was early this morning when I got my daughter on the school bus. I just washed them really well, patted them dry, and then I just, rubbed some olive oil over the top and put those in the oven for about an hour, and then I just let them cool. So those are hanging out right there. I've got some cream cheese, cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, some bacon bits here. I don't know what happened to my little handle there. It got bent somehow. Oh well. Now for the seasonings. You can use whatever seasonings that you like. I'm going to do salt and pepper, and I've got this new seasoning here. Typically I just do salt, pepper, garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, and it's really, really delicious. So if you don't have this, you can use that or ranch, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. Just use whatever you want. But I found this at the grocery store and it just caught my eye, and I thought this would be perfect for these. Just a little flavor spin. So I'm going to add just a little bit of that in there. For the next recipe is my daughter's favorite. All you're going to need is some crescent rolls. I'm pretty sure you can just use the crescent sheet and then just cut it into triangles. But I've just got some crescent rolls, garlic, mozzarella cheese, cream cheese, some butter. I've got about a little less than 1/4 cup of butter, and I've just got it diced. It's at room temperature right now, but I'm going to melt this up so I can brush it over the top. I'm going to add a little bit of this new seasoning that I found as well at the store, and it's onion butter, and it's got most of the ingredients that I use anyway, so I'm just going to add a little bit of that. So let me get you set up, and we will start on with the first recipe, and so on and so forth. So let me get you set up. Okay guys, the sun is in and out, so the lighting might be off a little bit. So I've just got my rice flour here, and I'm going to add half of my green onions in here. And then we will save the other half for the potatoes. Now, I've got some water here, and you're just going to add enough water in here to make a thick but pourable paste. Now, this rice will absorb a lot of water, so just be patient and just add a little bit. Let it, mix it up, and it will absorb mostly all of it. You want it to be thick but pourable. And as you can see, it's already starting to get thicker. That should do it. I want it to be thick, but I don't want it to be so thick where it just is gloopy, but I want it to be pourable where I can spoon it into the pan. So I think that is just fine. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the stove. I've got to get my pan heating up. That won't take long at all. So I'm going to get you guys set up at the stove, and then we will get these in the pan. Okay guys, so I've got my oil heating up. I've got it over about, let's turn it down to about 4. Now if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen when I got my new stove, and I'm so excited. She is just absolutely gorgeous, and I love her. Anyways, I've got a plate here that I've got some paper towel on just to catch some of the grease or the oil. Now you can use whatever kind of neutral oil that you have on hand. You can do vegetable, you can do avocado, coconut, whatever you have on hand. So I've got that going, and we're just going to add a couple of spoonfuls right in there. You can make these as big or as small as you want, but they are absolutely delicious. Now don't overcrowd your pan, because you want them to cook evenly, and you want them to cook until they're golden brown on both sides. Now these do spit and sputter, so just be careful and just take your time. They cook pretty quickly, so just keep an eye on them. And we are going to just cook these on both sides, and then we're going to put them on the paper plate here and let them drain and cool slightly. Okay, so I'm just finishing up my last batch. Now these will, if you use a metal spatula and a cast iron pan, it will stick, so that's why I use this spatula for fish. It just scrapes it up better, but if you use a non-stick, you're fine. They will stick, as you can tell, to the spatula, but they're absolutely delicious. And I'm just finishing these up. Now you can make these 2 different ways. You can make them a little bit thicker, a little bit more chewy in the center, or you can do these a little bit more thin and a little bit more crispy. Now these are done, and I've made half and half because that's how they come when they, when they bring it out at the little restaurant that we go to. So I've got a few that are a little bit more thicker and chewier, and a few that are a little bit more thinner and crispy. So those are done. So I'm just going to cut my heat off, and we will set these aside and move on to the next recipe. This is what they look like right when they come off of the pan. So I'm going to set these aside and let them cool, and we'll move on to making the stuffed crescent rolls. Okay guys, so I've got my mozzarella cheese and my cream cheese, and I'm just going to add a little bit of garlic to this, about a clove in there and on the counter. Got to season the counter as well. She wants some garlic too. I had a paper towel here, but I guess I stuck it somewhere and I have no idea what happened to it. But anyways, I've got the garlic in there. I'm going to add just a little bit of this onion butter right in here. Just add a little bit of flavor to the center of this. And we will add some more to the top. So I'm just going to mix this together until both cheeses are nice and combined. Make sure your cream cheese is at room temperature. It just makes it so much easier to combine these together, because I have done this with cold cream cheese before and it's not pretty. It is a pain to mix cold cream cheese. So get this all mixed together. And it doesn't take much for the filling for these, so don't go overboard with it. I have in the past, and I've ended up with way more filling than what I actually needed. Sorry about that, guys. My camera battery died. But as I was saying, I will have the recipe for all of these on my blog. The link will be down in the description box, as well as pinned in the comment section, so you can just click that link. It'll take you right to my website. So I've got that mixed together. I went ahead and melted my butter. You can do a little bit of garlic in this. I usually do a garlic powder, but I think since I've got my garlic out, I'm just going to add just a little bit of that in there. And some of this seasoning, and just season to your heart's content. This is a full bottle, so it's not going to come out of the top there too good. So I've got that in there, and I'm just going to give this a little mix. That seasoning smells divine. I cannot wait to try that. So I've got that done. I'm going to set these out of the way. And I've got my little tray here, and I'm trying to make a little bit of room here on the counter. But my counters are so small, but that's fine. Just open up your crescent rolls. Surprised that did not pop. Sometimes it does, and it scares me to death. Alright, so we've got that done, and my hands are clean, guys. I just washed them. So we're going to just unroll this. It's best to do this when the crescent rolls are at room temperature. Not room temperature, but cold. It just makes it easier to stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to take some of your filling here, about a tablespoon or so, and then just plop that right in there and just roll it up like so into some little ball shape here, and just kind of press the edges together so that way kind of stays in a ball shape. So I am just going to go ahead and finish these all up. And I will meet you right back here when we're done. And we will get these set aside while we work on our baked potatoes. We'll put them in the oven at the same time. So that way they're pretty much done at the same time. So I'm just going to finish this up. Meet you right back here. Okay, so I am just finishing up my last one. And then we will get these topped with that delicious butter. Kind of pinch the edges together there. These little things are not healthy by any means, but they are absolutely delicious. But I'm going to give my hands a quick rinse, and then we will move on and top these with some butter and get these set aside, and we'll work on our potatoes. Okay, we are going to just brush these with some butter and seasoning. And you guys, if you could only smell this butter right now, it is absolutely divine. These are going to be so good. Okay, those are basted with butter and just smelling gorgeous. So I'm going to set these aside, and we are going to start on our potatoes. Okay, so I got my knife, I got my potatoes. Now, normally people will cut them this way. I want to have a little bit more heft to it, so I'm going to cut them on the flat side. So I'm just going to cut all of these straight down the middle. And then we will scoop out the center. Be sure to leave about 1/4 of an inch border to your potato, so that way it kind of helps to, you know, make it a little bit more sturdy. Okay, so I've got that. I'm going to get a little spoon here. So I've got my bowl here, and all I'm going to do is just scoop out the center of these very carefully, so that way I don't rip through the skin. And I'm just going to take out the center of these potatoes. I'm just going to put them right in this bowl here, kind of like that, roughly. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of these, and I'll meet you right back here in just a second. We'll finish this up. Okay, so I've got all of my potatoes here. They're all good. Now, what I did was I just separated my potato. I've got most of it in this little bowl. You can save that for snacking later. And I've just got 1/4 of it in here. Now, to this, you're just going to add in all of the rest of the ingredients right in with your potatoes, your cream cheese, your green onion. You're going to do your mozzarella cheese and half of your cheddar cheese, because the other half is going to go on the top when we get it all done. And then your bacon bits, a bit of salt, some pepper, and whatever seasoning you prefer or would like to try in this. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this rodeo ranch right in there, just for a kick of that ranch flavor. You can add as much or as little as you want, but go a little bit light on the salt, because I don't know how much salt is in this. So Now all we're going to do is just mix all of this together until it is very, very well combined. Okay, that is as mixed as it's going to get. It's going to be super, super thick, but this smells so good. Now all you're going to do is fill up your potatoes. I would start off with about maybe a tablespoon and just stuff it right down in there. You can always go back and add more if you have more filling. So I'm just going to finish this up, and then we'll top it with some cheese and get both of these in the oven. So I'm just going to finish this up. Meet you right back here. Okay, so I've got all of these done. Now if you want, you can go back and sprinkle a little bit more of your seasoning right on top, just for an extra pop of that flavor. You certainly don't have to, but I'm going to just because. Okay, and now all you're going to do is just top it with a little bit of cheese, and when it melts it's going to get nice and delicious. Try to evenly spread it out amongst all of your delicious potatoes. So all of the potatoes will get some delicious cheese. Now it's okay if you have a little bit of the mozzarella in there. I end up with mozzarella in it all the time because that's just how shredded cheese works. Sometimes they just don't want to cooperate. So I'm going to get this and these stuffed crescent rolls in the oven. I'm going to bake them until the cheese is nice and melted and bubbly. For the stuffed crescent rolls, they're pretty much done when they're nice and golden brown. So I will show you what everything looks like as soon as it gets out of the oven. Okay guys, these are just out of the oven. They are piping hot, and if you know, cheese is molten lava when it is that hot. So I'm going to let these cool just a few minutes before I plate them up. I'll meet you right back here in about a few seconds for you, a few minutes for me. Okay guys, so this is what it looks like when I got them all plated up. I've got the scallion rice cakes here, the stuffed crescent rolls, and the stuffed potatoes back there. I've got a little plate here that I'm just going to do the taste test for you guys. And I've got some soy sauce here. Now I love soy sauce on these little rice cakes. It just adds so much flavor. This is our favorite soy sauce. I get this from the Asian store that's local to us. I'm pretty sure, bigger supermarkets might have it. Ours doesn't, so I have to get it at the Asian supermarkets. So I'm going to get you guys set up and we will get these taste tested. Alright guys, so everything is done. I've got everything plated up. I've got a little plate here. I've just added a little bit of soy sauce to my little rice cake. I can't wait. Those things they're simple, but they're delicious. And plus I'm a little red, just come in from taking the dogs out. So it's really hot outside, so my face is a little pink. But we're going to try these. We're going to start off with my daughter's favorite, and that is for these stuffed crescent rolls. These things, they fall flat as they cool, but they're still absolutely delicious. And that is what the center looks like. So good. Hopefully you've seen that. And they're quite buttery, but these things are so good. My daughter loves them. They're great for an appetizer for dinner or a snack, whatever the case may be. Your kids will love these. The center is so nice and smooth and creamy, and the outside from the crescent rolls is nice and flaky. And now we're going to try the potatoes These are my husband's favorites. He loves potato skins from Texas Roadhouse, like I said. So this is a kind of like a version of it. It's just stuffed potatoes, but they're so good. That ranch, that rodeo ranch, and those potatoes, you guys, that is so good. I will leave both of these seasonings linked down in the description box below if I can find them online. If not, check your local Walmart. I found those in the grilling section just by happenstance. I don't know why my Walmart would put seasoning in the grilling section out where lawn and garden is. But there you have it. You can check there. So now we're going to try my favorites. These are so good. They're crisp. They're kind of chewy on the inside. Now if you make them a little bit thinner, they're going to be crispy. I like them both ways. So just give them a try. You'll love them. They're very, very easy to make. That crunch in the center, absolutely delicious. Alright guys, so there you have it. 3 of our favorite appetizers. I hope you give these a try. You can find the recipes to all 3 of these on my blog. Like I said, I will leave the links to my blog in the description box, and it's always, always, always pinned in the comment section. So you can click that. You can take, click that link. It'll take you right to my website. And you can look up scallion rice cakes or green onion rice cakes. It will pull it up. You can do stuffed potatoes. It'll pull it right up. I will try to leave the links to the recipes down in the description box below, so that way it'll just take you right to the website recipe. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'm gonna go dig in. I'll see you guys later. Bye guys.